Hello and welcome to my latest career video. Now for this career video we are jumping down to flyweight, to one of the underrated flyweights fighters. Now part of this is due to the fact he's not in the Hall of Fame and he never captured a world title, and I think that hurts him in his historical standing. But Willie Davies was certainly a major league flyweight fighter. To me he's one of Wales's best fighters, produced behind obviously great Welsh fighters like Jimmy Wilde and Freddie Welsh. To me, Willie Davies was an excellent fighter. So we will go through his career, starting with his main opponents. And he has an enormous record, against rated fighters, as you will see. So Willie Davies begins, with two fights with Albert Frenchy Belanger. Now, Willie Davies didn't win either of these fights. He suffered a loss and a draw. He then fought former flyweight champion and very good fighter himself, Corporal Izzy Schwartz, 5 times, scoring 4 wins with 1 loss and no draw. Willie Davies also fought former flyweight champion Willie Lamorte, 4 times, scoring 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. And he fought the great flyweight fighter Midget Walgast, Hall of Famer, 7 times. Now, Willie Davies could only score 1 win and suffer 6 defeats and no draws against Midget Walgast. Midget Walgast, though, was a fast and furious, amazing little flyweight fighter. Next up, though, former Olympic gold medalist Frankie Gennaro. Willie Davies did defeat Gennaro in a singular fight. He also fought and lost, to Jackie Wilson, before also gaining a win over former bantamweight champion Tony Marino. Excuse me, just had to cough there. So next up is Emil the Spider Pladner. Willie Davies lost to him in a singular fight. He then fought and defeated Hall of Famer and another outstanding flyweight fighter, Newsboy Brown, in a singular fight, before then fighting contender Alex Burley on 5 occasions, scoring 3 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. Willie Davies also defeated rated contender Young Dencio in a singular fight, before then having a 6-fight series with Black Bill, the Cuban fighter Eladio Valdez, another of the outstanding flyweight contenders of his time. Willie Davies scored 3 wins with only 1 defeat from those 6 fights, also fighting 2 draws. He then fought top 10 rated contender Marty Gold on 9 occasions. Willie Davies won all 9 fights. He then also won all 3 fights in a trilogy against top 10 rated contender Joey Ross, before closing out this very busy first slide with a singular win over Emil Peluso. So there's a lot of fights on there. On these slides are listed 15 names, but he's had 5 fights with Izzy Schwartz, 4 fights with Lamorte, 7 fights with Walgast, 9 fights with Marty Gold. He's had 6 fights with Black Bill. There's an enormous amount of fights on there against rated fighters, champions and Hall of Famers. But we are just scratching the surface, so on to slide 2 for Willie Davies. He also fought a trilogy against former top 10 rated contender Ernie Peters. Now, Willie Davies won all 3 fights. He then has another trilogy in his career against former top 10 rated contender Happy Atherton, who would have been very happy after this trilogy after suffering 2 defeats and a draw, with Willie Davies winning 2 of the trilogy, winning the trilogy. He then fought excellent contender Johnny McCoy on 2 occasions, suffering a loss and a draw. Willie Davies then defeated contender Ernie Jarvis in a single fight, before also twice defeating former rated contender Billy Kelly 2 times from 2 fights. Next up is rated contender Phil Tobias. Willie Davies fought him on 2 occasions, scoring 1 win and 1 draw, and he also defeated former rated contender Ruby Bradley in a singular fight. Next up is a 2-fight series with Art Giroux. Willie Davies scored 1 win and 1 loss. He then scored singular wins over rated contenders Eugene Huat, Steve Rocco, Frankie Anselm and Johnny Goodrich, before then suffering a singular defeat to Archie Bell. Next up is Jimmy Thomas, another rated contender. Willie Davies fought him twice, scoring 1 win, 1 loss and no draws. And Willie Davies closes out his second slide of main opponents with a draw to Lou Faber. So going on to slide 3, okay, Willie Davies has a 7-fight series, okay, with rated contender Ross Fields, scoring 3 wins, 3 losses and 1 draw. He does fight 2 times Mose Butch, but Davies loses both fights. He then also fights Bobby Leatham on 2 occasions, scoring 1 win, 1 loss and no draws. Next up is Brave Triscaro. Willie Davies defeated him in a singular fight. He then fought contender Tommy Hughes on 2 occasions, scoring 1 win and 1 draw. Willie Davies has an enormous career, as you can tell. He's certainly fought pretty much most of the available contenders of his time for sure. He scored a singular win over Frankie Mason before then a 5-fight series with Davey Adelman, of which Davies scored 3 wins with 1 loss and 1 draw. He then scored singular wins over Phil Goldstein and Howard Maybury before then fighting Gennaro Pino on 2 occasions, scoring 2 wins from 2. Davies then defeated Britt Gorman in a singular fight before closing out his main opponents listed here with 2 fights against George Anarino, of which he won 1 and lost 1 with no draws. So there's a massive amount of fights there. There is 99 fights listed there. 99. Now, Willie Davies scored 62 wins with 25 losses and 12 draws from those 99 fights. So going on, okay, to Willie Davies, okay, he scored 8 KOs in his career, not a big puncher. He scored 2 KOs in 3 rounds or less and 0 KOs in the first round. Now, Willie Davies scored no KOs against champions, Hall of Famers or pound for pounder, and also scored no KOs against rated opponents. Willie Davies, though, fought a lot of career rounds, fighting a total of 1,601 career rounds. He fought 0 title fight rounds, and Davies fought totals of 204 rounds against champions, 88 rounds against Hall of Famers, and 68 rounds against pound for pound fighters. Now, against rated opponents, Willie Davies has a massive total of 785 rounds fought against top 10 fighters. Against top 3 rated fighters, Willie Davies fought nearly 300 with a total of 298, and Willie Davies also fought 50 rounds against ring champions. So going on to his slide against champions, Willie Davies had 22 fights against champions, scoring 9 wins, 11 losses and 2 draws, and he defeated 5 individual champions. They were Corporal Izzy Schwartz, Willie Lamorte, Midget Walgast, Frankie Gennaro and Tony Marino. Willie Davies scored 0 knockouts against champions individually. And going on to the Hall of Fame slide, Willie Davies has 9 fights against Hall of Famers with a record of 3 wins, 6 losses, no draws, all 6 of those defeats to the great Midget Walgast. He beat 3 Hall of Famers individually, Newsboy Brown, Midget Walgast and Frankie Gennaro, and Willie Davies scored 0 knockouts against Hall of Famers individually. So there's the champions and Hall of Famers. So going on to the pound for pound slide, Willie Davies had 7 fights against pound for pounders, including 1 win, 6 loss, no draw. He defeated 1 pound for pounder, Midget Walgast, but scored 0 knockouts, all stoppages against pound for pounders in his career. So going on to rated opponent slide, Willie Davies, as shown, has 84 fights against top 10 rated fighters. 84, a massive total. He scored 51 wins, 23 losses and 10 draws from those 84 fights, and Willie Davies had a total of 30 fights against top 3 rated fighters, including 14 wins, 11 losses and 5 draws. He also had 5 fights against ring champions with a record of 4 wins, 1 loss and no draw. So the net result, okay, is that Willie Davies defeated 27 individual rated fighters in his career, and he scored knockouts over 0 rated fighters individually. So going on to title fight stats, as shown by title fight rounds, Willie Davies had 0 world title fights, so his title fight record is no win, no loss, no draw, with no defences and no title fight KOs. Willie Davies obviously then scored no wins against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters or ring champions in title fights, nor any wins against champions, Hall of Famers and pound for pounders. So, quick slide there, onto the final slide. He never won a world title, no title wins. He also was never awarded a belt. So, Willie Davies captured no world titles, no lineal titles, and no undisputed titles. Now, if Willie Davies, to me, had captured a world title and made a few defences of it, he would be held in much higher regard. If he'd have captured a title and defended it a number of times, I have no doubt he would have probably been in the Hall of Fame by now. To me, the Hall of Fame is often too much about the accomplishments and less about the career, or it's too much about getting knocked down 9 times in 2 rounds and less about what the fighter actually did. But you know, it is what it is. Hopefully Willie Davies will join someday, but certainly as a flyweight, he was one of the major flyweight fighters of his entire era. Mixed in great company, scored many great scalps, you know, Newsboy Brown, Gennaro, Midget Walgast, Izzy Schwartz. I mean, he defeated so many top level fighters. He had huge fight series, he had lots of trilogies, and even 6 fight runs, like against Eladio Valdez. You know, incredible career. So there's my latest flyweight. Willie Davies will join my flyweight playlist. I'm the Boxing Librarian, and I'm out for now.